bully pulls up to the NFC East and he's coming to DC. And let's just say you better pay up and give him his money. It's not Friday, but it's Sunday. And every day on the Flex Zone, we got that Commanders news for you. Back again for the first of many off-season videos. We got a lot to talk about. Big-time trade. A homegrown Commander wants out. And we got to take a look at the draft. Where do the picks line up now? And as we head into free agency, who stays, who goes, and who do you want to bring in? It's the Flex Zone Podcast, Washington Commanders. Make a big-time trade. You already know why we're here. Make sure if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that bell, sound off down below. We want to hear from you, Commanders fans. How are you feeling about Deebo? Vote on the poll. Let us know your thoughts on how are you feeling and who do you want next as the offseason gets underway. It's the Flex Zone. Let's get to it. More exciting than the Washington Commanders being the first team to make a major move in the offseason as the good brother Cravante predicted and just had a feeling his spidey senses or commander senses were tingling last night. What a weekend. This is the Flex Zone Podcast. First and foremost, happy Sunday, a new week, the month of March. You made it through, and we are officially in Pisces season. So shout out to all those good Pisces. And a big birthday coming up this week. We'll get to that later. But Cravante, what a weekend it was, man. Thinking about it, the combine, we had, of course, college basketball is going crazy. You know, I'm going all crazy over here watching Maryland. They lost on a half-court buzzer beater this week. We got free agency news and rumors coming up. Then, for our wrestling folk, one of the greatest good guys of all time, John Cena, Cravante, turns evil. Yes, I know. It's I know. Even you.
Whoa.
And yeah, I know.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. That's why I couldn't really go live with you last night because it was The Rock was there. Travis Scott was smoking weed in the ring. Drake was there. It was a lot of. We have a not necessarily goofy of the week, but we may have to get your perspective tomorrow on the show on a wrestling segment. A lot going on in WWE. They're making wrestling cool again. But yes, John Cena, that we all know, is not a good guy anymore. He has turned to the dark side. A lot to unpack there, but Cravante, the Washington Commanders, we heard the rumors Thursday, Friday, as the combine was really getting going about this potentially happening. But before I do anything else, my Commandalorian brother is back with me. It's the off season, but we keep working. This man said we can go live whenever you need me to. Put your hands together for the co-creator of this hit podcast who makes it all possible, the senior producer, the voice of reason, captain of the goofy ship, and the Commandalorian himself, Cravante, baby.
Those haters can't stand us.
Man.
How you feeling, Cravante? I don't want to waste too much of people's time. Let's get into it. How you feeling? The trade happened. Yeah. I'll read all the particulars, but I just want your initial thoughts.
Man, I'm good, man. I feel good, man. Like I said, I feel like the Commanders, this is going to be a big offseason. So, like I said, don't be surprised. I was saying don't be surprised if the first domino fall is with us, especially with the connection that Washington and the 49ers have as an organization, let alone their former assistant GM is now our current GM, and he knows Deebo Samuels pretty well. So I'm not surprised at all about this trade.
And that's what I was going to start with, Cravante. Adam Peters, you talk about baseball season coming up too. I can't even forget that. Spring training is going on.
Yes,
I mean, it's a crazy time. March Madness is on the way. I mean, we got a lot going on, but even though the NFL, I say it's New York is a city that never sleeps, as you know very well. NFL is the league that never sleeps. Even when you think it's over, Cravante, football's over, they keep the headlines going. Much like wrestling, they keep you in intrigued of what's going to happen next. And even at the combine, guys running around in underwear, you got deals being made. Deebo gets traded. What about Adam Peters? He's only been there a little over a year. I heard Magic Johnson tweet about it. He recently saw Jaden Daniels apparently. I mean, the buzz is already high, even after a tough loss in the NFC Championship game. But considering where you guys are at, it's only up from here.
Absolutely. We absolutely love Adam Peters. He came in, he really came in swinging. He was able to pretty much flip Ron Rivera's roster in a short amount of time. He hit on, I say he hit on at least half his picks from this past draft, at least half. I want to say Johnny Newton, he came in hurt, so that was kind of a minor setback. But with Jaden Daniels as the first pick, that's an A plus 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 plus. You know what I'm saying? And Mikey being, you know what I'm saying, as versatile as he is, that's a home run pick. And you know, Luke McCaffrey and Ben Sinnott, I think that's how you pronounce his last name, are still and teetering. But Brandon Coleman, left tackle, he played some great minutes and made some great plays for us at left tackle. So he hit on more than half his picks, and what he does well is what he can hang his hat on is finding guys that's in day 3. He's good on finding day 3, you know, gems like round 3 and on. Well, round 3 is technically day 2, but that 4 to 7 range, he finds guys, he finds gems, and he has a track record of doing that. So he's only doing what the 49ers, what we seen him do, even though John Lynch was the man. Adam Peters was, you know what I'm saying, the guy that making a lot of those things move. So now he's in charge at bringing everything he knows. We absolutely love Adam Peters. I'm surprised they haven't made a hashtag by now, but let him cook. Let Adams cook. It should be a hashtag for the Commanders because he can't do no wrong. Like, it's all on him. Like, we haven't had a legit GM in some time. Okay. And he's coming in guns blazing. We let him do everything. Whatever happens, even if it's a head scratcher, we like, and Adam Peters we trust. You know what I'm saying? Because we haven't been here in a while. And that brother, that man knows what he's doing. And, you know, I think we're in good hands.
I want to touch on that real quick. I'm glad you brought it up because I saw this tweet. I thought of you when I saw it. I talk about it on the stream here. Remember, you traded Jahan Dotson. I know you remember that, Cravante, for a third.
Yes.
Use that third, a fourth, and a sixth for our boy Marshawn Lattimore, still under contract. He'll be ready to go this season. Can't forget about him. So 2 big trades in less than a couple of months. Then you got a 5th back from him. So you got a draft pick back from the Saints, and you flip that for Deebo. So Jahan Dotson, a 4th and a 6th into Deebo and Marshawn. Man, Adam Peters is cooking with grease, as they would say.
He knows how to wheel and deal them picks, man. And he's good with overseeing and putting together a roster, but he knows that draft. Like, he knows how to flip them picks and make the absolute most out of them. So he has a little, and it's really early to say this, but he has a little Howie in him with how he's wheeling and dealing and getting the most. Now what Howie Roseman separates himself is that he gonna take big swings on guys who people may look at as guys who are not as high character, and Howie Roseman, he swings the bat. Like, even though this football, he swings like, hey, Jalen Carter, bring him. You know what I'm saying? CJ Gardner-Johnson, bring him. You know what I'm saying? So he brings guys that that other people may look at and be like, I don't know if he fits. Howie Roseman, like, we'll make him fit. You know what I'm saying? But I like my guy Adam Peters. Like, he's good with wheeling and dealing of draft picks, just similar to Howie. But I haven't seen any swinging of the fences yet, but it's early. I'm sure we may get 1 or 2. I'm concerned about the Myles Garrett thing now. I'm not gonna hold you, because we're a legit threat to get him. Here comes the Eagles talking about something. They're gonna have a king's ransom, and it's like, oh gosh, jeez. So
what do they have left, Cravante? I mean, how much they got left? Them and the Lakers, man. 2 teams who just got endless draft picks.
And they got a very aggressive GM. So listen, that's a horrible combination to look at and have to play 2 and maybe 3 times, in the near future, because I mean it's gonna be us and the Eagles in the division. We got to play them twice, and we probably gonna see them in the playoffs again. So that's something to look into. But I want to see how serious the Cleveland Browns is before trading them. And Adam Peters and Howie Roseman, man, goddamn, we got 2 hell of GMs in our division. So it's gonna be crazy to see what them sweepstakes for Myles Garrett look like.
If you're in the chat, I see you, Alex. What is going on? Ace Lambo, shout out to you. Big shout out to Macklin Gibson. New subscribes. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. Gotta show some love to y'all. Yes, we were just talking about that earlier, Alex, about doing a mock draft video. The Jets linked to the trade for the Titans, apparently. Shout out to Alex for the information in the chat. I cannot pull the comments up on screen because I was goofy in making the stream, so don't worry about that. But I do see your comments on YouTube, everyone.
Wait,
yeah.
I was say, because I can't see none of them.
Yeah, so I had to go to YouTube and actually go to the actual video because I think the video was put on private, and then when it's not on private in StreamYard, you have to go back. It's a lot of back end confusion. Yeah, it's all good. We love you people. We see you. So I'm reading them out for you.
Well, as long as you see them,
Yes, I got y'all. I see everybody in the chat. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, hit that like button, hit that bell, vote on the poll, and make sure you sound off below. Let us know your thoughts. All right, Cravante, 2 deep particulars of the trade. Let me read pretty much the details of the deal real quick. The Commanders acquired the 49ers draft pick. Well, sent a 5th round draft pick to the San Francisco 49ers in exchange for Deebo Samuel. Obviously, this cannot be processed until March 12th when the new league year starts. Washington is taking on the remainder of the contract, his fully guaranteed $17.55 million salary. And there was also, Cravante, and we'll get to him in a second, trade discussion of Jonathan Allen possibly being included in that as well. He is due $16.4 million. Now, the Commanders add another wide receiver for Jaden Daniels, another weapon, a former All-Pro wide receiver as well. And San Francisco will absorb $31.550 in dead money on this year's cap as well. Looks possible, more likely that he will sign an extension as well. Deebo was a 2nd-round selection in the 2019 draft and was a favorite of Kyle Shanahan. He had a dominant 2021 season. After that season, he got paid and then kind of dealt with injuries from there as well. But he has familiarity with, obviously, Adam Peters and a lot of the staff on the Commanders as well. Now you have Terry McLaurin and Deebo Samuel as your 2 leading guys, Cravante. So hearing that with the cap money you have, absorbing it, probably a new deal incoming. It's funny that his teammate, Brandon Ayuk, was possibly going to be a Commander. He ends up being the Commander. Ayuk gets paid. Crazy? And you said they both weren't going to be able to coexist and be there. We all thought this was the last year. They failed as a team. I think injuries was a lot to do with that, but they underachieved. And now you get Deebo Samuel. Are you happy with the trade? And would you rather have Deebo over Ayuk? And what does he bring to this offense? I know we talk a lot about X's and O's, but for those who may not know, what does Deebo do? Because he's not just a traditional line him up to the X or line him up to the Y, and he's just going to be there, and that's where he's going to run routes and play. Right. He's going to be all over the field.
So he's a Swiss Army knife on offense because he could literally line up anywhere. He could line up on the outside. He could line up in the slot. He could line up at H-back. He could line up at running back. He could line up next to, next to the quarterback. He can get to where he has to go from anywhere. And that is and he can be effective from anywhere. We see him, he could be the running back in a play, in a read option. Imagine a read option and it's Deebo and Jaden Daniels. Like that is a possibility. So you can put him anywhere to create your mismatches, which I know Cliff Kingsbury is going to absolutely love, because Deebo, like Terry McLaurin, he may mostly line up on one side, but Deebo, you got to find out where he at. He might line up next to Terry. Who knows? But Cliff Kingsbury playbook is really going to open up. And now the most important thing is that you can't key in on Terry McLaurin. Or you know what? You can do that, but Deebo is going to be Cliff Kingsbury put him in a mismatch situation, which means 9 times out of 10, he's going to be one-on-one. Yeah, go ahead, double Terry. Deebo's going to kill you. And also, he brings a lot of what they call yak yards. Yards out the catch. For a running back, his yards out the contact. It's both for him because he can be a running back at times and he could be a wide receiver at times. But regardless, whether it's yards out the catch or yards out the contact, he brings that. So we have a guy who also brings toughness and toughness to the wide receiver room, wide receiver / running back room, but to an offense as a whole and the team as a whole, as more toughness that he brings. So it makes us more balanced as an offense. So I'm here for it.
Well, we do have some skeptical people, Cravante, because sometimes how we like to say hurt guys stay hurt.
Yeah.
Bees channel, shout out to you. We see you in the chat. Some people say he's only got 1 year left, then he's going to be trash or he's going to get hurt. I mean, how do you feel about those possible cons with a guy like Deebo potential?
So I agree. Because he has 1 year left, I don't think he's not going to get an extension because this is a low risk, high reward potentially because we're only getting him for his last year is guaranteed. We're going to absorb that, and it's going to be kind of like a prove it. What you got? Would you going to get this to us for a year, and then we'll talk about extension later? Because and I know, as we say it all the time, hurt guys stay hurt. You know what I'm saying? And it's unfortunate for us right now. It's unfortunate in that sense, but he has so much potential and he can really explode in an offense that it's like for a 5th round pick, who wouldn't take it? You know what I'm saying? So it's concerning. Deebo would not have been my first pick or my first selection because of the injury concerns. But with the connection with Adam Peters, I knew it was a possibility. Now, I wanted guys like T. Higgins, possibly Garrett Wilson, and things like that, and players like that. But they're probably going to come with a high price tag. Deebo is not. Deebo, we get another legit weapon, and we're not paying him $30 million. And now that I think about it, the more and more as days go on, I don't think because they try to say my man fat.
Right.
Man. So Deebo he's not a $30 million guy, which is great. He could give us production and open up our offense, and that's what's important. And we're not paying him a ton, and we didn't give up anything. Gave a 5th round pick. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who wouldn't take that. And if it don't work out, cool. We cut ties, and it's it. We don't have to bring him back. But if it works, now we have to talk about extensions and all that. What we're gonna do next? Because it's basically like a franchise tag in a sense. You know what I'm saying? So he wasn't my first pick, but looking at how things are, T. Higgins is looking less and less likely because we're going to extend Terry McLaurin this year. So he's going to be a $30 million guy. I think it'd be crazy to bring in another $30 million guy at wide receiver. So I understand. Look. They are stupid. But I just feel like T. Higgins and the Garrett Wilsons and all those are looking less and less likely as time goes on. Having two $30 million guys at wide receiver is kind of crazy. So, oh man, they play so much, bro. They play so much. But yeah. So I understand the concerns. He wasn't my first choice, but I understand it, and it's a low risk because if he gets hurt or he's not productive, or if anything negative happens, that's it. We're one and done. But if it does work out, you know what I'm saying? We all saw what our offense could do and what it could be. Adding another weapon, it's up from here.
So let me ask you a quick question. We know who you play next season. I'm going to throw a little curveball to you. Let's pull up the opponent. Right, we kind of did this exercise. We're going to do it until we get to kickoff. So if you're tired of it, oh well. people out there. We got to do it as things change. Now you add Deebo Samuel. Okay, maybe what we thought before, whoever you may gain. You don't really have a lot of free agents, and you guys got pretty good cap money and draft capital. So looking at the opponents, obviously your divisional opponents, you have the Eagles, Cowboys, Giants, both home and away. At home, you have the Bears, Lions, Broncos, Raiders, and Seahawks. Honestly speaking, on my perspective, Gravante, I'll get your opinion. I don't know. Maybe I don't see more than maybe 2 or 3 losses there. Then on the road, of course, your divisional opponents, Eagles, Cowboys, Giants. Then you go to Lambeau, go to Kansas City, got the Chargers, Falcons, Dolphins, and Vikings. I could see you going at least 500 on the road there. That could put you close to double-digit wins again. How you feeling now adding Deebo to this team?
I think this will be the test will be it's always interesting to see our schedule like this because I don't know when we play these teams. That's the part where I really we don't know. We can't. I guess they haven't determined yet. So when we play these teams is important. I will say that like if we play Chicago early in the year, I think we get them. I think it's different if we play Chicago in September versus December. Broncos, same thing. Seahawks, same thing. But I agree. At home, I see 2, most 3 losses. At most, I see 3 losses at home in that road. So we had 9 home games last year. So now we only have 8 this year. So I say 6-2, 5-3 at worst. Away, Chiefs. That'll be a tough one. Eagles. I think one of them. I think it was split with the Eagles. So if I'm giving the loss at home, I'm taking the away one. Well, or whatever. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. I think going 500 was that's 9 games. So we go 5. Yeah. If we go, what's that? 6. I think we should probably win about 6 of these games. Vikings will be interesting. Packers will be interesting. All these games pretty much will be interesting, except for the Giants. The Falcons is going to be fun because 2 young guys going at it, and Atlanta's offense is pretty, pretty top tier. But if we pull 6, I think 6 and as we pull 6, maybe 6-3, and then 6-2, something like that.
Yeah, I'm like I said, I'm not believing in Vegas, even whatever they end up doing. I'm not believing in Seattle because Geno Smith is still there. I think the Lions are going to take a step back. How far that step back goes, even if they get Myles Garrett, losing all your coaches, never good. I'm a Ravens fan. We saw that happen.
Both of
Broncos,
them.
Right? Broncos. I mean, Bo Nix going into year 2. We'll see what they do. I still don't believe in the Bears. I mean, they could be better. Yes, we know how divisional games go. I don't believe in the Dolphins.
Ben Johnson is there now.
Right. We could see an improvement.
So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, and I mean, Jaden is right now better than Caleb, and I love Caleb, but he is. The Dolphins, I think they are still trash. I mean, they're not that great. Yeah, and the Vikings are not winning 14 games again. Regardless of whatever happens, they're not winning 14 games again. So they're going to take a step back. I think the Chargers will be good. What Chiefs team are we getting? I don't know. Packers, we don't know. So, I mean, there's a lot of these teams could be, like I always say, it's 5 out and 5 in, Cravante. And you look at the NFC, every year there's some crazy stuff going on there.
Every year. So I'm looking at, 11-12. 11-12 should be about where I can see us. So I'll say 5-3 at worst at home. And then I'll say maybe 6-2. I mean, 6-3, 6-3. Away, and I count the losses. I saw the Chiefs on there. The Eagles, whether you give me the home or give me the away, because I think we're gonna split. So however you want to do that. And I think maybe somewhere between the Chargers and the Packers, we probably won't win both of those, but somewhere in there.
Fun exercise. We'll keep that going. Cravante, let's go to Jonathan Allen, then we'll get into the free agents real quick.
Yeah.
Jonathan Allen, guy we love out of Alabama, covered him before he was drafted, comes to Washington, goes through the bad times, gets hurt this year, comes back. Jonathan Allen given permission to seek trade. Doing my searches this morning before we did the show, I did go Google it.
Go Google it.
He has been linked to the Arizona Cardinals apparently, and could have been included in his Deebo trade, obviously, but a lot of money to be maneuvered. But linked to possibly Arizona, and I do have the updated draft picks as well for the Commanders. We'll get into that. But how you feel about the Jonathan Allen situation? I haven't really got your thoughts on that either.
It's unfortunate. But excuse me. I think Jonathan Allen saw the writing on the wall. I think that's what he saw. Because word on the street, permission to seek a trade, but he wanted it. Like he asked for a trade. Something along the lines of that. I believe he asked for a trade. And they gave him permission to seek it. I think he saw the writing on the wall. It's been linked whether him or Deron Payne, one of them is probably not going to be back. And I don't know what the cap situation is. Well, I think say we'll save 16 million if we cut him or something like that. So
yeah, it's like a post June 1 cut, something like that.
Okay, so I feel as though he's probably like it's either me or him. So I guess he's probably trying to get ahead of it. I'm not surprised though, because I don't think both of them are going to be on the roster next year because they're making the most money out of everybody at interior D-line defensive tackle. So and they've been on and they was talking about trading Jonathan Allen, last year. Rumors like that was coming up before. So I love his resilience. Him being able to come back after, I believe his pec. I think he had a pec injury or something like that earlier. So him coming back was huge for us. But where we're going, and the change that we're making, I'm surprised that he was here for all the bad times. So I'm surprised he seeked out a trade. But I think he saw the writing on the wall. So it's either him or Deron Payne at this point. I don't know if the cap hit or the situation is with Deron. I know he's making a lot of money, and both of them, if I'm being honest, they underperform. So one got to go, and we got a true money man that knows how to wheel and deal with contracts, draft picks. What a GM is supposed to do. So I think he probably saw the writing on the wall. I don't know if there was any internal conversations that was being had, but I think Jonathan Allen saw the writing on the wall.
And would you welcome a trade to send him to our boy Kyle? They sure need some defense in Arizona.
Listen, man, if it got to happen, cool. Are we doing picks? Are we doing players? What's up?
Well, I'm glad you said picks, Cravante, because let's get to the updated draft picks. I got the up to the second draft picks for the Commanders, so I want to get your thoughts on that. And then we can look at the free agents for the Commanders and list up potential free agents fit with the Commanders. So right now, as of this moment, I can enlarge it a little bit for you so you can see. All right, so right now, as you can see, Cravante, you have your number 29 pick, as we know, in round one, as you mentioned, unfamiliar territory, but in a good way, because you're picking, meaning you're winning, you're being successful. Then you have the number 2 pick, which is your second round pick, number 61. Then your third round pick, Cravante, number 79 from the Dolphins. Then after that, though, you don't pick until pick 207, round 6, and then 27 from the Broncos, 238, 250 from the Eagles. Now, at 29 pick, Adam Thielen, maybe you can get a guy still at 32 or 33 that should have got a 29, get an extra pick. How do you feel about these draft picks? Now, obviously, the combine ending soon and the free agents.
Yeah. I think somewhere if they give us a 4th or a 5th, that'd probably be enough. I ain't gonna hold you. Because that is a nice little gap. We just gave him a 5th for Deebo. So that is so that's leaving a big gap between us and picking. So if we get a 5th or a 4th or a 5th round pick, that'll probably be enough to of a trade piece, just so we could close that gap between, because the round 3, that's day 2. So our first pick wouldn't be until round 6. 200 pick is kind of we miss a lot of key players. Remember, I told you Adam Peters does his best work on the back end of the draft. So a 4th or 5th round pick probably would do it for Jonathan Allen. Like I said, just to close that gap. And also, I wouldn't be surprised if we trade out the 1st round just to acquire more, maybe another 3rd round pick or a 4th round pick. You know what I'm saying? Just so we can have some say so. We don't want to miss a whole round, you know what I'm saying, of the draft. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't be surprised if both of those things happen. Maybe, like I said, trade Jonathan Allen for a 4th or a 5th and trade out the 1st round to acquire another 3rd or maybe a 4th round pick.
Let's look at the free agents you guys have, Cravante. As we mentioned earlier, a lot of decisions, but they have spent. And Cravante, as you see, Deebo Samuel at the top of the list now, so this has been updated. Of course, we know Bobby Wagner's got to be near the top of the list, right? Anybody else?
Absolutely.
No, Trustway. I gotta say Trustway. Gotta say Trustway too.
Come on now. That's but my man, the most consistent thing we've had throughout all of our times here. So we're talking about players that must keeps.
Yeah, must keeps. How do you maybe see some guys? Maybe you see as a guy that maybe you don't see coming back. But I mean, these are just some of the names. Like I said, there's a big list, but not a bunch of impactful free agents where it's like, oh my gosh, we're in trouble. You know what I mean?
Right. So, Marcus Mariota, he might price us out. That's what I'm concerned about. He may
He
price
might
us
be
out.
starting Cravante at this rate.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know what his mindset is. He may still try to start somewhere. He may still try to compete somewhere, or we keep him for $10 million a year. So, and what is he making now? 6.5, about 6 million. Yeah, he might price us out depending on if he still thinks he can play at a high level and start. He's gonna go somewhere else. Excuse me. So I would love to have Marcus Mariota back because he's similar to Jaden Daniels. But he may price us out. He may not be back. KJ Osborne can go. Jeremy Chin, I want him back. He's good on the back end. He does a lot of good things, especially around the line of scrimmage. Trustway, gotta have him. Dante Fowler, I would like to have him back. I believe he led the team in sacks. Zach Ertz, if he feels up to it, because he played a full season. So I hope he's able to come back. Cornelius Lucas, I would love to have him back for depth purposes. Mike Dieter, he can go. Benjamin St. Juice, he can go. Dommy Brown, he may test free agency, he may not come back, which is a pretty crazy thing. Oh, KJ Osborne, obviously he can go because what did he do? And let me see, Noah Brown. I don't know if Noah Brown and Dommy Brown are going to come back. Because Dommy Brown really put his name on the map with that game against Detroit.
Picked a hell of a time to have his best career games, right?
Yep. So he might price us out too. So I want him back. Don't get it twisted. I would like to have him back because he knows the offense and he's growing with Jaden Daniels, and he was with Jaden Daniels during some crucial times in these playoffs. So yeah. Let me see. Noah Brown, I would like to have him back. Where my man OZ?
He's right under Trent Scott, Noah, and then
there you go.
Right between St. Juice. Yep.
Between him, Dommy Brown, and Noah, I'm not sure all of them are going to come back. If I haven't picked it, I would probably be Dommy Brown because his production was crazy, especially in crunch time. So he might have priced himself out. But if he wants to stay, by all means, it's got to be friendly because only person that's about to get paid big money right now is Terry McLaurin. So, if that works out, I would like to keep. I saw Cornelius Lucas and Trent Scott, probably for depth purposes. Because you can see when you get injuries to the offensive line, man, if you don't got legitimate guys on the back end, it's kind of tough to stay afloat.
Well, Cavante, let's go to your wish list. I got a poll up. Make sure you guys vote on the poll. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Hit the subscribe button. Leave a comment. What do you want to see next? You got Deebo, so we're always thinking what's next. We're fans. We're content creators. We are part of the media now. We
Yep.
kind of want to know what's next. We're greedy. We want more, more, more. Looking at the free agents, who could you possibly see the Commanders going after? Looking at the now top free agents, I'll scroll some guys or just go down the list. If you see somebody, you can throw out a name. But these are the rankings according to NFL.com. Of course, and number 2, Trey Smith may seem attractive from Kansas City. But how good is he, Cravante? I mean, what the hell did he do in the Super Bowl? I don't remember him blocking or stopping nobody. Why is he the what is up with these rankings? I don't think people sit and watch, and this is what pisses me off. We watch the games just like anybody else, and these people are ranked 1 and 2, and this isn't any sport. They get all this big money, but in the biggest games, the biggest moments, I don't even know who the hell Trey Smith was before free agency.
Who?
Am I missing something? Because they hyped up all these guys, and then when push come to shove, Jalen Carter had him on his back. Jordan Davis had him on his back. Josh Sweat giving him spin move and swim moves in the club. I mean, I guess. I think he might be overpaid, and I don't even know if he's going to live up to his contract. That's just me looking at it right now.
Absolutely. He's absolutely going to get overpaid. Absolutely. Because, and I think that is one of the benefits you have with playing for the Kansas City Chiefs. You may be overvalued a little bit. Now, I think Creed Humphrey is him. I love Creed Humphrey at center, but everybody else is kind of like, he's good, but when all the chips on the table, granted, nobody looked good. I would say the Eagles thoroughly whooped the Kansas City Chiefs, so none of them looked good. And he probably is a good interior offensive lineman, but they just picked a horrible time to have a horrible game, in front of everybody too. So, and we know the offseason. This is free agency overpay season. That's really what it is. He's gonna probably get overpaid, because the Chiefs been rotating offensive linemen pretty much every year. Their offensive line changes damn near annually. And hell, we got 2 of them on our roster, and neither one of them is top tier. So I think that just they're good at putting them together and they look good as a unit. But as you pick them individually, I don't think they're as great. But he's going to get overpaid.
See Milton Williams, a guy I've thrown out there, and I could see it happening. People call me crazy if he doesn't stay in Baltimore. I know people think he's going to stay. Ronnie Stanley, Cavante, you feel about, or Milton Williams? I mean, he's an underrated guy. I think Milton Williams is an ascending player. I could see him getting paid for what he's about to do. And Ronnie Stanley, I mean, he's 31, but he started every game, and every team could use an offensive lineman because there's a lot of trash O-lines out there.
Listen, and also it's hard to, especially coming out in the draft, it's hard to determine if this guy is ready to play at the NFL level at left tackle or right tackle. Both of them are tough. When you're on the edges, it's tough. So I don't know if you noticed, but a lot of the guys that's coming as the top linemen, we're not sure if they're tackles or guards. So that's a factor you have to take in. But Ronnie Stanley, we gotta have Ronnie Stanley. We got to have him. Commanders got to go get him. If y'all not gonna pay him, he got to come, because I'd rather have somebody who's legit at that premier of a position. I need a guy that's done it before, and he's also played with a mobile quarterback. So, you know what I'm saying? I think a lot of it would be similar. The transition won't be as crazy. So at left tackle, bringing in a rookie is going to be tough unless we get like a Tristan Wirfs, you know what I'm saying? Somebody like that. But Tristan Wirfs, we knew was a tackle. So a lot of these guys coming out, I don't know if they tweeners. I don't know if they be better guards or better tackles. The arm's length really ain't there. You know what I'm saying? So if we could get Ronnie Stanley, that'll be amazing for the offensive line and Jaden Daniels, because I want somebody legit right there at left tackle. And if we got to go in the draft, we got to go in the draft. But I think we got a guy right there, plug him in right there and not worry about it.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, of course, like I said, a lot of people are saying that Ronnie Stanley extension is imminent. So I don't know where the Ravens are getting this money from Cavante, just like the
Okay. Well,
Eagles are getting draft picks and the Lakers getting. I don't know because they are couch coupon changing the couch. I guess they're trying to maybe spend some money. We'll see. But like you said, blocking for a mobile quarterback. Our boy CJ Stroud in Houston could use some O-line help. Of course, Patty Mahomes. There's so many teams you can name that could use offensive linemen. So these guys are going to get paid. Sam Darnold, I mean, obviously the Commanders aren't going for a quarterback, but is Sam Darnold going to break the bank, Cravante? I mean, what's going to happen with that situation?
No, he's not. He's not because again, he picked a terrible time to have a terrible game. All the regular season mess goes out the window when the playoffs start because this is what really matters. You played terrible in a playoff game. You played terrible. So now if he'd able to get a contract during the year, that was his best chance to make the most money. What we seen last is what we always gonna remember. And his stock just went down a little bit. So he probably went from a potential $40+ million guy to probably high 20s, maybe 30s, because we saw how you looked when all the chips were on the table. So I don't think he shouldn't break anybody's bank. He should get paid, but he shouldn't break anybody's bank.
I said Baker Mayfield, Cavante, 300-400. I think something like that. They did. Yeah, Baker Mayfield.
Let's not do nothing crazy. 300-400. Cool. Let's not do nothing crazy, bro. 30, low 30s, cool. But you're not a $40 million guy.
I'll just kind of go through some of the top 10 here. We got another D tackle, Josh Sweat. Do you think Josh Sweat is a product of the Eagles' D line? Because he only had 8 sacks. And everybody's like, oh, we want Josh Sweat. I'm like, he only had 8 sacks.
Oh, absolutely. He's going to get overpaid too. But nothing against him. He got his opportunity and he made the most of it. That's what you're supposed to do. But he's going to get overpaid. Somebody's going to overpay him. Somebody's going to overvalue him. And in 2 years, we're going to be like, Josh who? And I think that there was a guy that was right above him played for the Cowboys.
Yes. Osai. Yeah.
Osai Odigizua. He is great at rushing the passer from the interior. Not that many guys that could do that. Now, I don't know him against the run. It's so, but he's really good at rushing the passer from the interior, which can wreck any offense. So I wouldn't be surprised. And also Dan Quinn, you know what I'm saying? If he could bring as many of his former guys in, he will. But shout Odigizua he might pop out this year and get paid.
Shout out to Raven 76 B More. Commanders going all in on Jaden Daniels on his rookie deal. This is a good move getting Deebo, like you said, Cavante, on a rookie deal. How about these corners, real quick, Cavante? Because I do think a corner could be used. I know we got Mikey, I know we got Marshawn, but can't count on Marshawn for 17 games. I'm just being honest.
Boy.
I don't know what these rankings are saying. They have Carlton Davis over DJ Reed and Charvarius Ward. I like DJ Reed over both of them personally, even though he plays for the Jets.
I like Ward.
Okay.
I like Mooney.
Okay.
Mooney Ward. I like Mooney Ward. But as you can see, even you saying you like him more than they're right there. You know what I'm saying? As far as the rankings. Carlton Davis is another one that's good. I like all three of these guys. Personally.
All under 30, Cavante.
That's what I'm saying. And this is a premier position. But Ward played for the 49ers. And Ward has some size to him, some lift to him. And that's what Dan Quinn and Joe Witt Jr. like in their cornerbacks. Now, is Anna Peters going to go back to the 49er well twice in one offseason? Who knows? But I like Mooney Ward the best of the three.
How you feel about Byron Murphy? I think he kind of revived his career a little bit. Could be a little bit on the cheaper end.
Sure.
Obviously a great first name. What do you think about him?
I like him. How would he fit? So he played primarily outside, or was he all over the place?
I think he was outside because it was at Robert Flores, I think, in Minnesota the last couple of years. I think he was outside. I could be wrong. Let me know. But I think he was outside guy. Even coming out, I think he was an outside guy. Come on. Remember, he was like a number one caliber guy. Yeah, he wasn't.
Yeah. Right. So I like Byron Murphy.
Okay.
And you're right. He would definitely be on the cheaper end of things. But I gotta look at him and see how he would fit with a Joe Witt or a Dan Quinn. Like, is he more of a man guy versus zone? Now Brian Flores is aggressive, so he probably was playing man more
Yeah.
often than not. So that's a positive because Joe Witt Jr. and Dan Quinn do like aggressive guys, you know what I'm saying, on the outside. So I like Byron Murphy, and again, you're right, he's not gonna cost a lot.
Real quick, Dre Greenlaw, linebacker could be a need. He was hurt last year, but he is next to Fred Warner. They were the best in football potentially. And Javon Holland, I really like Javon Holland on the Dolphins. He's a good baller. He was hurt, but he can make big plays. Because I know Jeremy Chin is a free agent potentially as well, and Nick
Yes.
Bolton too from the Chiefs. I mean, talk about most underrated players in the league?
My
That boy
God.
is underrated.
Listen,
Only 25. Sheesh, I didn't know he was that young.
God, hey, he's been in the league 4 years already.
Yeah, him and
Jeez.
Holland, because I remember Holland out of Oregon. Yeah, all of them. That's crazy.
God, dog. So Nick Bolton is a very underrated.
Yes.
I think I love what he's done with the Chiefs. I absolutely like. That's where he, you know what I'm saying, make his name pretty much in the middle of that defense. I think he's very, very underrated. Somebody's gonna get a good player out of him. Tough guy.
Just kind of going down. How you feel about your boy Justin Fields? We're hearing rumors of a potential Justin Fields Ohio State reunion with the Jets with Garrett Wilson. You know that get the band back together thing? No? With Aaron Glenn, another black coach, probably got 2 years at max under Woody, who was voted the worst owner, by the way, to the NFL report. How do you get an F plus? What is it, an F plus? What do you get? What did he get? Like, what?
I saw that. Yo, got an F, bro. Oh man. Justin, I mean, get Aaron Rodgers out the building first. get Aaron Rodgers out the building.
He might be going across the street, Cravante. According to rumors, it might be in your division, maybe.
Listen, man. Listen, our division about to be popping if this get crazy. Our division finna be crazy. But Justin, I mean, I guess, and I don't like the constant movement because that'd been his third team in like 2 years to a third team in 3 years, I guess we could say. But I don't know if he's best fit for the Steelers though. And the Jets could be a resurgence, maybe, but please, Jets, work on that offensive line before you bring another quarterback in there thinking he's just going to change lives. And you got to be patient. Sheesh, got to be patient. And what are the Steelers going to do with Russ and Phil? What are they going to do?
Apparently, they're still deciding on which one they want to sign.
But
apparently, they're leaning towards Russell Wilson. But I don't know what they're doing.
And I think I don't know if that's the best decision, but it is what it is. If Fields can find his way to another team because to start, I think he should go that route. But I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential.
Jackson's back. I think Jackson's back. I think the Rams,
he went back. Yeah, he went back. Okay. And as did Matthew Stafford. So how about the Rams get a band back together? They got to be the favorite in that division. I know now with the trade of Deebo, the Cardinals are up and down, and I don't believe in Geno. Like I said, the Rams on the NFC hierarchy, we got to put them in the top 5. I think.
Sure, absolutely. As long as Stafford could stay upright, I think they'll be all right. And now what they're gonna do with Cooper Kupp is gonna be interesting. But
I mean, I could see a similar situation like him, maybe going for a 4th or 5th round pick. I mean, because him and Deebo have similar numbers, right?
Absolutely. And also injury concerns.
Yes. Chase Young, free agent, Cravante. You want to know that? No. Okay.
Nope.
All right. Just throwing names out there. We got a lot of names. Be interesting. Would you like a veteran, maybe like a Bosa or Khalil Mack or someone like that, maybe?
Absolutely. Khalil Mack. Absolutely. If the Garrett Wilson, if the Myles Garrett thing cannot or will not happen, I'm cool with Khalil Mack. Because Khalil Mack, from the edge, he plays the run very well on the edge. And my gosh, the Eagles ran circles around us, and we wasn't good as a team, as a defense, with stopping the run. Being able to stop the run from the edge would definitely, somebody who can help set the edge would definitely point us in the right direction, put us in a good place to be able to stop the run moving forward. So I would love Khalil Mack. If,
Just
like I
looking.
said again, if the Garrett thing don't happen, I don't want
And you
to.
still have our boy Cleveland Farrell, who is Dante Fowler is a free agent too, so maybe you could bring him back too, possibly.
Yes. Rotation. We need
Yeah.
guys to stay fresh. On the we want good rotational guys. On their defensive line because that's one thing the Eagles did very well. Very, very well. They wasn't on the field a long time and they stayed fresh, so they kept rotating guys. Even though I felt like Jaden Carter was out there all the time, but I'm sure he got his breaks too. Crazy.
Yeah, I know. Crazy times. The league that truly never sleeps. Cravante, I think that is pretty much all we have for the good people today on this Sunday. Any final thoughts? I know the combine's going on right now. Anything that's jumped out to you? I know we were talking a little briefly. Anything that jumps out to you for the combine, and anything you have on like your list of needs, maybe now with the Deebo trade and combine coming with pro days on the way, also, and players maybe that people should be starting to look at as we get ready for our draft.
So a couple things that I'm looking at as far as things that I think we need. We need another weapon with next to Terry McLaurin. We can kind of check that off. Left tackle.
Bring back Zach Ertz too. I'm so sorry. Bring back Zach Ertz. Not to cut you off.
Yes. And that's what
Please,
if he feels like, because he's a little long in the tooth, so we got to ask how he feels. Like, hey, Zach, you think can you run this back? See how he feels, because he could be talking retirement. Who knows? But left tackle need to address left tackle, and we need speed at running back. Byron, we were talking before we got on air. This running back group, if you need one, this is the year to get one. It's a lot of guys.
You taking one at 29? You taking one at 29, maybe?
If Hampton's there,
is that the North Carolina kid? Is that the North Carolina kid?
Yeah.
I've heard his name. I think you told me about him. I've seen him in the algorithms. I've seen him. I've watched him. North Carolina every year has a guy that, despite whether they suck or not, that jumps out to us a little bit. And Bill Belichick going there, by the way. So that's pretty cool.
Yes. So if he's there at 20, because obviously Ashton Jitsi ain't gonna be there. Jitsi top 15. Matter of fact, depending on if they doing any trades, he probably not getting past Dallas at 12. I think Dallas is 12, so he probably not getting past him. So I do not want him in my division, but it'd be crazy to think Dallas will pass him up. But Omarion Hampton, if he's there at 29, listen, bro, he shouldn't be there at 29. But if he's there, I would not be mad if they got him. Would not.
And free agency, Cravante, in about 2 weeks now.
Yes, March 12th. Well, yeah, a little bit less. A little bit less now. So I guess you could say a week and a half. March 10th is when I guess the legal tampering period starts. I think it starts at noon, and March 12th free agency starts at 4 p.m. I'm thinking. So yeah, that's when all the things gonna kick off. Commanders have to make a couple more moves. If y'all can play Ronnie Stanley, cool. But if y'all not, Adam Peters is coming. He coming. So I'm excited. I'm excited for things to come. I'm hoping that Myles Garrett. I think in order for that to happen for us, honestly, it has to happen before the draft. I think after the draft, I don't think it's gonna be too likely, because that means Cleveland's probably playing hardball, and they probably going to go into the season, and Myles Garrett is probably going to have to legit miss games. So our best opportunity to get him is before the draft.
Cravante, free agency can dictate a lot of this though, because free agency's first, so people may sign and then your needs could change. I want to show you something before we go. So episode 480 tomorrow, another milestone. For those who don't know what we do here on the Flex Zone, quick 30 seconds to a minute. What do we do here? Let the people know, because I want to show you something, get your interaction. But how are you feeling about the Flex Zone 480?
Well, but listen, it's crazy that we've been on this long. Been doing this pretty much 10 years. We do sports, all sports. You love football, you love basketball, you love baseball, you love wrestling. We have content that I'm sure you would love. every day, from breaking news to AEW. We got boxing, boxing coming up. We got something for you that you would like. So like, subscribe, leave us a comment. We love the engagement. Our flagship podcast is Monday night, the Flex Zone podcast, and that's when you see the whole crew. Otherwise, you may see Raj here, you'll see a lot of Byron, you may see Dre every now and then, but we got something for you every day. So tap in, you'll find something you like. It may be one of us that you like. Who knows? Who cares? And wow, John Cena. But yes, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications and all that good stuff.
How you feel about this, Cravante? He's now back. Look at that. Look at that. Travis Scott back there with the blunt in his hand, the rock.
What are we doing? Like, so now, what's the term? Is that heel? Is that
Yes,
heel?
he turned heel. He turned heel for the first time in his career.
Wow. So who is going to take over as the guy now? Like,
Now that's where Cody. That's where
the
Cody comes into
protagonist.
play. That's
The
where Cody comes into play. The one he beat up with the blonde hair.
Oh, he had his foot on his head.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. But
Yeah.
John Cena, I know him. I know him well, not through wrestling, but also through like the acting world. Listen, man, he's showing his range. I'll say that. He's oh man, oh that looks bad. Yikes. Yeah, that looks bad.
As big as, remember, since Hulk Hogan turned bad guy, so the biggest heel turn since then. They're calling it Cravante. So what's old is new. Yeah.
Okay. Well, listen.
And remember the storyline, Cravante, years ago. Remember, John Cena criticized The Rock for becoming Hollywood and selling out. And what does John Cena do? How about that for storytelling? He becomes the one thing he hates.
But Rock and the brother Rock was right. Where was The Rock? Right there in the ring with him. Like,
Exactly. Because the initial offer, Cravante, was he wanted Cody's soul. But Cody said, go fuck yourself. And we didn't see that side of the good guy. So he got that edge. He got his balls. And then they said, okay. And then he gave him and then he turned on him.
Sheesh. Listen, man. One thing I know about wrestling, they know how to tell a storyline, man. You know, they gonna keep the people entertained and keep the people watching. So John Cena turn the heel. Raiders finna do what they do.
Yes, sir. Tomorrow, episode 480, as Cravante mentioned, we will be talking about the combine a little bit. We got some players who are staying. Matthew Stafford. We'll talk about the Deebo Samuel deal. Tank, a draw, Cravante. I'm sure we got a lot to get into with that. Yeah, we were watching. Yeah, it's a draw. I'm sure he may have even lost the fight court to some people. When you get some time, I'm sure you can watch it. But yeah, we'll talk about that as well.
Wow. Very interesting. And that's Baltimore DC. Ain't that something?
How apropos, right?
Yep. Crazy. So yeah, I definitely gotta tap in, see what's up. But yeah, that's crazy.
We'll talk some NBA as well.
Yep. Yeah, of course. We still gonna find some time to talk about free agency because football never sleeps. But some basketball, some trade potentials. You know, I'm hearing Giannis is not happy. So it's some stuff going on. Jimmy Butler is seeming cozy in Golden State. I don't know. So it's a lot going on. De'Aaron Fox is in San Antonio. So it's a lot. It's a lot going on, a lot to talk about. But definitely the combine, for sure. Rogers, his favorite time of the year.
Big shout out to everybody in the chat. Alex, Ace, Macklin. We got Mr. Universal, B's channel, of course, Roger, as always, Jake Chrisley. Everybody, thank y'all for watching. If you're watching after the fact, leave a comment, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Shout out to Cravante, the co-founder, the commander lawyer, and the senior producer. He'll have another fresh Goofies of the Week. I'm sure we'll scour the interweb and have a lot to talk about. Maybe even Cravante might even have his opinion on the John Cena situation. Who knows? We'll see what happens tomorrow. Appreciate you, my brother Cravante. Excited for another fun off-season crop of information as we work back towards which will be a great Commanders 2025 season.
Let's do it. It's good times, man. Good times.
Yes, sir.
This is still a new space that I'm in, but I like it.
Hey, man, we love having you here, man. So anytime I can have you on, I appreciate it, man. We'll probably do something in the next week or so, like I said, with the draft combine done. We're going to get into those draft profiles where we break down each and every prospect, the top ones at their position. A lot of people I'm not familiar with. Cravante's filling me in, so I'm going to watch some film, get some information, and we're going to do the damn thing like nobody else on YouTube. And we will be doing a mock draft of our own. We'll get some friends, some members of the show. We'll each get some teams. We'll pick the first round. Maybe do some trades. We'll have a little fun with it. Have a whole live event. Maybe be up here for a couple hours and do what we do best. And then we'll have the real draft, which will be live for as well. So for Cravante, appreciate you, my brother. For the Commanders fan, the Ravens fans, everybody in the chat, thank you for watching. Only Place Cravante, give me sports how you want it.
When you need it.
We'll see you guys tomorrow for episode 480. Vote on the poll, hit the like button, hit the bell, subscribe. You're watching after the fact, leave a comment. Check out all the other content on the channel. We'll be here each and every day on the Flex Zone Podcast. For Cravante and everybody watching, God's favorite host, have a good Sunday, everybody. Peace. Thank you for watching.